on Facebook. Welcome. It is the wrap up. Johnny here, Team Superdad, friends, family, members all around the world. It's great to have you. Great to have you here. We're a little bit, if you saw last week's, what were we on? We were on the live stream with the Father's Lives Matters. You'll see we're a little bit panned out. Definitely better. Instagram, we've got you rocking right there. It's Friday. It's the wrap up. And if you're an eagle-eyed member or friend, you will know that it should be the wrap up 14, right? Flipping it. It should be the wrap up flipping 70. But that's another whole story. We are on number 14, but we missed last week's, and there's a very good reason for that. Quite a frantic reason. If you know me, then you will know exactly when my kids' birthdays are, and I'll tell you all about that. But they are very close together. Very close together. What is it? If you've got kids' birthdays especially in September, right? If you've got kids' birthdays in September, that is your Christmas shag, basically. You've got 9 months since your New Year's Eve bonus shag, and then you got a baby. And if you've got kids at 2 years apart and 1 week apart, then you know that's pretty much what you were getting. You were getting your Christmas shag, basically. So there we go. That's when I've got both my kids' birthdays in at the end of September. Rosie should have been a couple of weeks after, actually. So that would have been more like your January blues bonus, basically. It is Friday, and we are welcome, everybody. If you're here, come and say hello. We can pull those comments in, whatever channel you are watching on. We're on StreamYard, so streamyard.com/Facebook, and I can see your face if you want to. As always, hello. Tell me where you are at. Boom. The funny thing is, if I'd have stuck with my radio and journalism course, I would know exactly how to touch type. But as it happened, I did not like my radio and journalism course. I just wanted to do the radio bit. I left grammar school and I wanted to go and do. Someone said to me, my sister, actually, it's her fault. My sister said to me, college was even more fun than school. So I had a lot of fun at school, right? So I'm thinking more fun than school. Holy shit. If there's something, there's somewhere I can go and spend each day that's more fun than school. So off I went to college and basically learned how to drink and smoke weed, basically. So that was the start of my A levels or higher education. Definitely a higher education. It was also right around the time we first went raving. So, it was a good time to be British. It was a good time pre-social media, definitely quite hedonistic. I couldn't even have spelt that word then, probably, let alone know what it meant. And in the pub, drinking beer, and then smoking weed, pretty much till I threw up, basically. So there's my role model adventures for the day. Say as I do, do as I say, not as I do. Well, that's gone out the window straight away. So it's the wrap up. If you're new to this, welcome. Team Superdad is a community for dads who want to create the life they desire rather than the life they feel stuck with. We are here in the UK, but we've got dads with us from all over the world. My family in Chicago, that's my big goal, is to have the Hero Academy having events and firewalking and the F5 program in the UK and in America, so that I can be in Chicago more often. And we've got the election coming up in November. Did you see Donald Trump on the TV? Do you believe he got ill? I don't believe he got ill. I'm just putting it out there. He's not the best actor in the world. And did he get ill? I'm not sure. But he says he's been blessed by God to have got corona. and he's now been cured by a miracle drug, and having closed all like barracks, hospital stuff, Medicare for the last 4 years. He's now going to give away medicine for free, and so vote Trump, and you can have 4 more years of madness. Whew. Oh, and then blames China as well. I do realize many people would say, and it does seem to be the case, that Corona came out of China, but according to Donald Trump, they gave it to the rest of the world. We don't know if this is true, but that's what he'll be telling everybody for the next 2 weeks. Ooh, that's my political rant. I know more about American politics than I do about UK politics. Over here, we're just dancing around from one COVID measure to another, depending on where you live and what's going on. I've no idea. I wash my hands. I wear the mask. Do I believe it? I've no idea. I've literally no idea whether it's all made up or what, or we've all got the flu, or it's just bonkers, isn't it? But all we can do, in fact, as Donald Duck says, all we can do is get on of Facebook. He's back. Yes, he's back. That was weird. Lost you for a second there, but anyway, we're back. I know I've lost complete track of thought by that madness. No, it's gone. Totally gone. Well, thankfully, I do have a list of things that we made to talk about what's been going on this week. If you were part of the pre-roll, then you would know I was talking about the utterly mad week I've had this week and how much I haven't got done. You can count the 2 weeks for that, and that's why we missed the wrap-up 13 last week. Should be wrap-up 14 this week. But it's been my kids' birthdays. So my kids' birthdays fall 1 week apart. And every year it is just insane because they start asking for things that they want, or their birthday parties or everything like that. I do love birthdays. I do love birthday parties, kids' birthday parties. Anything like when your kids are young, if you can keep these things magic for as long as possible, then that's just brilliant. And I remember being a kid, like the idea that, yeah, I'm 8 and a bit. I'm 8 and a half. I'm 8 3/4. I'm going to be 9 in 3 months. One of my best mates, Athos, he would always tell me about 3 weeks, literally 3 weeks after his birthday, and bang on about it for a year, basically. And the funny thing is, he still does it at 46. He still does it. It's good to be competitive, though. It's good. So, yeah, my kids are 2 years apart and a week apart. So that's my Christmas, New Year shag, basically, back in the days of being married. That's why you get 2 kids' birthdays. If your kids are in the early part of September, then that is definitely your Christmas present. And if they're later on, then that could be a bit of New Year's Eve fun or whatever. But my kids, it just takes over everything. And it is gorgeous, but the wrap up went out the window last week. Actually, Rosie's birthday dinner last Friday. The week before was Jago's birthday dinner, which I've shared about, and we got caught in the car on these football trials and stuff. But so it's all been insane. But we did have an epic weekend. She was telling my friend Leela, who was here the night before, she said, I want the Donatina Kindy Kid and the Collins Keys Wheel of Fortune. Like, it should be shit, right? If your kids watch Colin Keys, they got this range of toys now. It should be crap, but it's actually brilliant. You open up you spin the wheel, you open up the section, and then you have to make stuff, and then you have to decide whose is the grossest, whose is the most realistic. It's actually £30 well spent. So well done, Collins Keys. And then just trying to back into normal life, really. This last week, I've interviewed Nic Askew, who does soul biographies. Amazing guy. Pretty chilled out podcast. If it's going to go live actually next week, but if you want to watch the live stream, it's on all the Team Superdad pages. On that note, by the way, if you're watching, feel free to share this, give us a like or a comment. I can see the comments. I can see you watching. I know how many of you are watching. I can see you on my Facebook page, right? say hello. I need to know where you are and what you're up to. But yeah, the Nic Askew interview was deep. It was proper deep. I've known Nick for years, but our paths, we just cross via email and Facebook and stuff. So he interviewed people all over the world for his soul biographies, and they are moving. They're moving like experiences. It's just black and white, one light on the person. And Nick said that the style is really, he doesn't say anything to them. He just leaves it on there, and it's intense. And then like they crumble and start talking, and they start talking in the most real way. And then I've really understood how the soul biographies work. They are moving. They are moving. Real stories from real people from all around the world, which in many ways was exactly the experience we're talking to Alan of the Father's Rights movement. Great guy. Our paths crossed a couple of years ago, 2016, when I was in the midst of my separation and divorce and child court and all that sort of stuff. And he's out there. I found out he'd already been on his journey for 5 years up until that point. So he'd learned all the stuff, got the positive outcome, and then just wanted to share it back with the world. Kind of like my inspiration for Team Superdad, basically. But a good guy. His boy was on, so we had some cool chat. I was on his Instagram. You can go and check him out at Fathers Lives Matters on Instagram, or way before Black Lives Matters. But not, I'm saying it's better or anything. I'm just, if anyone's thinking, oh, he jumped on the bandwagon there, he didn't. He did it. He started Fathers Lives Matters years ago, and just a great guy. Just interesting, really, really interesting. And I got some good feedback from that from other people. So go and check it out. What else? Trump lockdown, done a little bit of that. Raving, so much, load of stuff has popped up recently. If you've got access to the BBC's Sounds, the BBC Sounds app, then be sure to go and listen to the Ecstasy documentary. It's an audio documentary. If you were part of rave culture, if you were, 18, 19, 20, whatever, in the late 80s, going into the 90s, then it was an epic time. No mobile phones, really, unless you were like worked in the city with one of them briefcases. Just footloose and fancy free. No social media, no checking in, no one really other than the people around you to worry about. It was just silly, really fun, unbelievable experiences, meeting amazing people on a regular basis who often you would never meet again. And I don't know, it's kind of sad. It's also a bit weird in this, like the contrast. This is why I put it in the notes for today. The contrast. If you go and look at any YouTube videos, you've got memories in your mind, but go and look at the YouTube videos of stuff from that time, like raves and clubs. Blimey, even if you're younger than that and you were clubbing in Ibiza last summer, if you were at Glastonbury for any of the last however many Glastonburys you've been at, big festivals, little festivals, just the idea that we would be dancing and drinking and partying and cuddling, meeting people, hugging, high five, like the whole just normalness of being up close and sweaty, like bumping into each other, spilling drinks on each other, snogging strangers, like there's just this so weird, the world we find ourselves in today. And I am pretty fed up of it. And I hope that the miracle comes along pretty soon, and not your miracle, Donald. I hope it's a real miracle. Oh, blimey. What else? Favorite. So, and on that point, favorite podcast. Go and check out the Ecstasy documentary on BBC Sounds. Flipping brilliant. Do you know what? I haven't been listening to as many podcasts recently. The pod amp, which I've set up, has enabled me to listen to lots of little bits of podcasts, but then I haven't been listening to my normal podcast. If you are a podcast listener, especially if you're a dad, right? Welcome, whoever you are. If you're watching on my personal stream, then great. Just tell me what podcast you listen to. If you're in any of the Team Superdad channels, then what podcast do you listen to? I listen to, as I've said before, I love the David Dobrik and Jason Nash Views podcast. Views. Welcome to Views. It's just funny. It's just silly. It's to be honest, you're probably going to need to go way back towards the beginning to actually get to know the characters a little bit, because they're kind of off on some random tangent mostly nowadays. But I did enjoy it, and the probably more on the health and vitality tip. The Sean Stevens Model Health Show. I've mentioned it before. The Lewis Howes. What's it called? Lewis Howes Life of Greatness. It's not called The Life of Greatness. Lewis Howes Greatness something. There you go. Just check it out. You'll find him. And of course the Tottenham ones. Last word on Spurs. They have taken over the Fighting Cock in some big way, mainly because they're doing it so often. Flav is the guy that set up the Fighting Cock. Awesome guy. He's got a really cool podcast called 15 Minutes. So I think it's called 15, but it's 15 Minutes with Flav and the other lad, other bloke, and they just riffed for 15 minutes on a particular subject. I love it. I'm to be quite honest, I'm trying to rip it off and do something similar with some friends of mine. And on that note, I'm still working on pulling together a group of dads to come and be part of the Team Super Dad on a regular basis. I've chatted to Matt Alberges, Dean Coulson, Freetown. What a cool name, huh? Freetown. He's part of the Team Super Dad group on Facebook. You can find us at facebook.com/groups/Team Super Dad. He's talking about it. And another guy called Nathan Daniel. When you got your first name and your second name, or both first names, it's quite difficult to remember which one comes first. Let's check it out. He cancelled me. We were scheduled to talk and he cancelled me. Let's have a look. It is, where is he? Can't bloody find him. It's Daniel Nathans or Nathan Daniels. I give up. Where's he gone? No, I give up. Daniel. Oh, no, must be Nathan. Who cares? Not that interesting. But so if you are listening to this and you are Sam Piggott, come on, you got to be the man. Let's get friends on. People, you need to have like the mic, right? You need to be interested in doing this on a regular basis. And that is my kids calling me. I'll have to call them back. If you want to come and be on part of the Team Super Dad podcast, you want to be a regular co-host, a guest, part of the crew, basically, like a sports podcast, then just hit me up on text me if you know me, hit me on Facebook, on Messenger, wherever in the Team Super Dad community. Come forth. We want to do like a group podcast with other dads and basically just have a laugh, take the piss out of each other, maybe talk about a couple of serious things, but basically more than anything, just have a laugh, probably in this slot. So the wrap up will be a lot of dads talking about their week and wrapping up. Subjects like, right? Subjects like, and I'm going to go a bit personal on this one, right? But at 46, you know, you might have come across, or you might have been seen in conversations, men talking about their testosterone levels, T levels, right? Like what are your energy levels like? What's your sex drive like? What's, you know, how happy are you? Quite often this can come down to your testosterone levels, right? So I've been looking into testosterone, getting a check, trying to talk to a couple of companies that do these sort of, you take a sample at home. I think you prick your finger or something and then send them the stuff. And then they send back all your readings, all your biomarkers, tells you how healthy you are. And one of those is testosterone, right? So it's the weird thing. If there was more dads, I'd be able to talk about this. If you're listening, then tell me. The late night boners are back in such a crazy way, but not all the time. So like last week, pretty much just waking up in the middle of the night, like, wow. And at 46, that's probably not the most regular thing in my life. So I have no idea what that's about. It could be the vitamins and supplements that I'm taking. It could be the idea in my mind that I've been on a few dates with someone. I don't know. I feel like I'm about 20 again, or waking up like, what do I do with this? Which, as you can imagine, there's only one thing you can do with that. So So that's a nice break in the middle of my night's sleep, basically. But if you have at my age, if you're going through similar things, I would love to know what are you doing about this. You can share that in the group. It's a safe space in the Team Super Dad group. But or what? Or if you're married, what do you do about it? Because I know how that used to go for me. Your wife not often appreciates being woken up at 1 o'clock in the night saying, can we do something about this? Maybe that's why I guess there's pluses to being a gay guy. Basically, if you're gay, does that okay? Can you wake up your gay partner with a massive hard on in the middle of the night? What are they more happy to hear about this in the middle of the night? I want to know this. I'm not that I'm going to turn gay. At least I would just be interested to know. So that's what happens when you listen to the end of the wrap up. You get insights into my life at the end of the wrap up. Insights that you wouldn't get if you just listened to the first part. So yeah, to the two people that just joined us, we've been talking about my middle of the night erections. What else do you have to talk about in the wrap up? I know. So thanks for listening. If you've been this far, that has been my week. I haven't got much work done, to be quite honest. It's been crazy. I've been on a bunch of different podcasts. I'm launching the Dad Call. It's a Monday night Dad Call. It's difficult times, in many parts of the country, in many parts of the world. We're going back into lockdown. It is emotionally and taxing for a lot of men. So the Dad Call on a Monday night, it's going to be 2 hours, 8 till 10. You don't have to stay the whole time, but if no one's there, I'm not going to be sitting there on my Todd. But it will be happening every Monday night. There's a small charge. It's all about Team Super Dad and growing Team Super Dad. There's a lot of value in there from me and other coaches, other experts, other dads basically will be coming on and doing little slots inside of that. So the Monday night Dad Call, won't be starting this. What I'll do is this Monday is I'll do it. It'll be a free one and we'll just be doing it. So come along and get involved. Then the week after it will move over into the paid. It's just £25 a month basically. So come and get involved in the Dad Call. The Hero Academy, which I launched in October. I didn't follow the plan. I didn't follow. Basically, it just didn't really land really very, very, very well. So we're going to redo that and get dads into the Hero Academy, which is the monthly success group for dads. Really, another level of accountability and support around goals, around fitness, around our family and focus. And of course, having fun. Basically, just taking charge of our life. I was just on a podcast with 3 women on the Women Leadership Show, and we were really talking about the role of men in our families and how difficult that can be. These are the kind of things that we're going to hit head on in the Hero Academy, and of course, right across everything we're doing at Team Super Dad. Come over to teamsuperdad.com and check it out. If you're still listening after this long, thank you very much. Give me a hello in the comments or a hashtag reply if you're watching the rewind. It's great to have you here. Pretty much every Friday, sometimes Saturdays for the wrap up. And of course, over on the podcast, if you want to find the podcast, just search up Team Super Dad with Johnny Jensen or come over to teamsuperdad.com and click on the podcast page. Everything you need is all over there. And if you're not in the group on Facebook yet, then do it. Just Team Super Dad inside of groups on Facebook. Good to see you. Good to talk to you. I'll catch you next time. Johnny here. I fucked it up. I'm Johnny. Team Super Dad out. Bye.